In this video, I will show you how to use the birthday cakes card SVG set from Simply Crafty SVGs to make several birthday cards. Make a folded card, or a box card, or a custom card with number candles. So these are the three cards, or three versions of the cards we're going to make today. And you can see we have a couple different versions. We have this drawn on with Make-A-Wish. This is the tier card. Here's the slice of cake card with birthday wishes tag, and the tall cake card here with ready set blow. So there's 5 sentiments. So what you'll make decisions when you're making this card is basically what kind of card you want to do. Do you want to make a flat standard card like this, or do you want to make a little cute box card? So here are the box card versions now. So there's a lot of different ways you can make this. So do you want to make it with customized numbers, which we have within the file? So there's one. Do you want to make it with a different panel? So this is using the word celebrate, which is part of the file, with its own tag. And obviously a little bit different. So you don't want a rainbow, you can put, there's an optional solid panel in the back. Or you can use the panel that comes with it and do a cut. You could always cut it out with pattern paper and just add different colors. Then we have optional panels. So this is the basic card, but with panels now you can add little panels to it like that. So you can see we have these different cards. So that's the tall box card, which will sit up, but it'll be flattened to fit into an A2 envelope. And then we have the slice of cake card, which is the basic one. This I used a tag instead, which you can print and cut the tag one version. So it comes with 5 tags and 5 words that you can draw. So if your machine is capable. So here's the box card version. So you want to make all these decisions before you cut it out, because it just depends on how you would cut it out. This one I used less panels to make it a chocolate cake. So you can see that, and I drew the happy birthday on there. And then this one, here we go. This has a panel, and I made it a 16 birthday cake. So you can see all the, so I'm giving you all the, everything you can do with this file. You see there's a lot of options. And then here's a different one, which is more of a just kind of a basic chocolate cake, but more of a masculine card that you can make. I just didn't have a sentiment on that. And so you can add your own sentiments too. So that's what you can do with, these are all the cards I made just with this one file. So there are a lot of options. So next we're going to go through, I'm going to show you how it's organized in the files once you unzip the file, and where all these different elements are. So before you start cutting out, you need to know where the files are. So normally when you unzip my files, you'll notice SVG files folder, a PDF file, which is a reference file, and then a bunch of image files, one or multiple image files, and the image files aren't there right now, but that's what you'll see. You want to go into the SVG files folder to find the SVG files. And one thing I'm going to let you know is the way this is structured is much different than what I normally do. So most of what you'll want is in the slice of cake card, the tall cake card, and the tier cake card folders. The only thing the exception are the number candles, which is in the here. The standard folding card, which is just the standard card, and the panels, and that's because every card can use the same card base for this, whereas the box card cannot. And then words. And there's 2 versions of word in here. There's words on tags. So let's say you want to print and cut it, or you put pattern in the background, and you don't necessarily have a solid paper to write on or draw. And these are for pens. Or you could also attach these 2 different tags of your own within your software. So that's those. So let me show you in Cricut. So within Cricut, I'm going to show you in Cricut, even though this can be basically the same concept in many other software out there, including Silhouette Studio. So I actually already uploaded all the files. So if I'm just going to go to my stuff here and birthday cake, the set, I did all these in a group here. So when you open the file, you decide what you want to do. First, you want to decide which kind of cake it is. So if you want the tier cake, you would need this file. If you want this card base, you'd have to pull it in individually. But if you want the box card, it's included in this file. So let's go ahead and pull it in. That adds it to the canvas. Let's just say we want to do the box card. That's all you would need if you didn't want to customize it at all. Okay? But if you wanted to be able to do just a standard card like this, you'd want to add this as well. And then here are the optional panels for that card if you wanted panels. And the last thing are the words. So you can either choose the tags or the ones that are intended to be used for drawing with a pen. So it's up to you, but I'm going to pull in both. And then we're just going to go, I'm going to click on view, or I can click canvas over here actually. So you can see those are the tags, which you could change for print and cut. They're good if you have panels. So if you were to want to use just this regular card base, then the only files you would really need for this file are, depending on whether you use the panels, let me zoom out, are some sort of words, the panels if you're going to use them, the card, and in here, let me just go ahead and ungroup. And then you wouldn't need that. That's one of this and this are box card elements. So you just need this. Okay, so that's all you would need if you want to just do a regular card. If you wanted to do a box card, you would need this part, this, and this. You wouldn't need this, and here are the words. So hopefully that you understand that as we go along. So just say we want to do a standard card. Like I said, you would just ungroup, take that part. And then I just want to make one of the simpler ones, like I'll be showing you. Let me ungroup this. And I just want to add this as a pen, as writing underneath, and then put the cake right there. Within Cricut, and it's different for every machine, but within Cricut, if I were just to use this, I'd go ahead and attach the score lines. In this case, those are perforated lines, so they will cut. So they're not a solid score line that was score. We have that separately in the file. We can click attach. Then on top of that, let me send this to back. I didn't really do this yet, so the birthday wish, let's say I want to use that and write it with a pen. I would select it, come up here, go pen, and then now it's set to write. But what we need to do is to also attach it. So on top of that, you can attach again. Then if you go to make, I know all this is here just so you know, but when you go to make it, we'd have to hide all this other stuff. But let's go ahead and do it, and I'll show you the mat. So there's the mat, and you can see it says pen and basic cut. So we're going to go ahead and cancel. So that's how you do that. And of course, these could be print and cut if you want to do that, and you can change the colors on the tags and do a print and cut, and that would just be a flatten. So you can see some options, or you might want to use the tag if you're going to use these. So if you want to use go ahead and put that background. If you're going to use one of these or multiple panels. So that's that with those. So if you just want to do the box card, we have a couple options. First of all, make sure you ungroup this if you're going to use the box cards. And then you can go ahead and, this is a solid line version, solid line, so you can go ahead and use the score tool or score wheel with it. I would change that score, I would change the line to score. Same thing here, come over to here, select the fold line and say score. But then you have to remember to hit attach, else the score lines won't score where they need to. And the other thing is, if you do change the colors, make sure this matches this purple color down here. If I go ungroup, you want this to be the same color as that. So this would be just the standard card with this. So what if we want to make or customize any of the files? So let me show you that. I'll show you all of them at once and what you can do. So now I want to show you how you can customize each of the cakes with a number. So one thing is I brought in all the complete files for all the cake types. I ungrouped them already. And we're going to delete all the card bases right now because right now I'm just focusing on the actual cake itself and how you can customize that. Because how you put together the cards is basically the same regardless of whether you put a customize number on top. I'm going to show you two options at least. So here we have the numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and move this to the right. And we have the original. So here's the original tier cake. So if you take the tier cake first, and then we ungroup. To add the numbers on, you just have to replace a couple files and delete one. So we don't need this one anymore, so we'll move that to the right. And this one will be replaced. Then you go ahead and find the numbers, ungroup them, and let's just say we're going to make a cake for 60. So we want to ungroup them so we can get the individual numbers. I'm just going to take the 60. Let's do them individually. Let's try and do them together. And we're going to take the red ones too. We won't need these anymore because those are for the candles. So let me zoom in. So for this one, all we did was take the 60 from both numbers. And you could either just, there's two choices. We want to keep it this red because then it'll bring the rainbow in if you're going to do rainbow colors. Otherwise, you can change it to any color. And this yellow. So for this, since it's yellow already, unless you use a different yellow, you could make them independently, just cut them this way and then glue them on. Or you could attach it to this, the numbers of this piece, select them all, go combine, weld. That way when it cuts out, you'll have the red and get the rainbow color here. So let me just put this to the back. So that's for the tier. So let me zoom out. And this would go away. So let's do the next one. The next one's a little bit different. You have these extras. So these are the extras in the extra stuff folder. And you have this. We're going to go ahead and ungroup this, and we'll have to do it a couple times. Go ahead and ungroup. So these are individually. And then also ungroup here. So if you want to keep the rainbow colors, you could go ahead and just still use this with this to line those up. And you'll see that in the video later. You wouldn't need the candles if you were going to customize it. The little candle things. The flames. And then we would replace this one with this. So we're back to here. And this is only used if you decide to do just kind of like a full panel back here, instead of doing the lines across. And you just, anyways, it's just an alternative. You can still do like a pattern paper with this, and it'll cut the lines. But you could always make these a different color, solid color, which we'll have an example of that as well. So the same thing we did before. Let's go ahead and let's choose 9 this time. Bring it over here. You probably can make the numbers slightly larger than what I had them. But for this cake, because it's blue, you probably want to match up. We can't match up the color because if we do it, put it in the back like this, you see this? Then we're going to have a blue candle. You're not going to have the yellow. So however you want to do it, this is what I recommend for this. I would make it a little bit larger if it were just one number. Just go a little bit larger. And I would take this and this, and I wouldn't weld it at all. What I would do is independently just glue it on. And the reason is that I did one already, and if you change this color to match that, if you wanted to do it the way I did it, you would just glue it on top. So this red would be on top like, oops, like this. And then once you glue these together, it would be right on top like that. So it's very visible. So that's what I'd do with that cake. So the third one, so this would be gone. To customize this one, let's go ahead and ungroup. And I'm going to ungroup one more time to get this, the piece with the candle on it. So all we're doing is replacing that piece. So again, put that aside. And let's just say, let's do 21. 21. With this is up to you what color. If you want to make it the rainbow colors and you like the pink, you could always use the pink or just any color you like. But you could essentially, oops, let me just zoom in. Do it independently like I did this one where you just cut them out and just glue it on, or you could, this is how you do it if you welded it. I would duplicate this. So you have that to the side, and you can go like this. This is the same thing you could do up here. Go weld. And so you see the 21, and then you could come over here and place it to the top like that. That'd be more secure than just gluing it on. Then you'd have like that. So that's how you can customize all three. So I hope that helps. So we'll just start with the tier cake and show you how that goes together. It'll be similar for the customized version. The only difference is it'll be flat on the top here without the candles, and you just add the numbers. So you would just glue them on the top, or you could weld them with your software. So there's several ways. But to put this together, so it looks like the little rainbow, we want to take the big blue piece. And so you can use these different colors, obviously, than just this. I just made it a colorful because I thought it was fun. And it's the theme of this particular set. And I wanted it to be easy to use for any occasion, really. So just line that up. So this set, as I'm putting together, really is about putting together a card quickly and be able to customize it quickly. So now we're just going to put the big part on. So we're just going to line it up to the top there. So if you wanted to do just standard colors, you could use the extra panels to make a solid whole panel, and I'll show you a version of that just without the the candles, but so you could put just a solid like pattern paper or other paper. And this will go like that. So as much as I know it's kind of odd because I'm making this during in November, but I struggle with birthday cards, so I thought somebody had asked me to do something that pertained to cards and doing simple cards, and this is where it started. And I thought I should just do a birthday card set. And I always think of the die cut sets they have out there and how you can mix and match, so this is kind of the idea for this set. So now you put the candles on if you're going to use this version. Gonna line them up, and I had put some clear Nouveau on these candles before. So this is Morning Dew Nouveau Crystal Drops. And so I had already placed it on this to give it a little shiny look. So you can see the little shine after I cut it out. So after I cut this red piece out, I put this and set it aside to dry. So you need to put that on before the orange piece, so the orange can hide it. And that's how you simply put that together. Oops. Make sure it's lined up. And I like to flip it over just to see. So I didn't line up the red the best, or the blue. It does line up, it was just me. But it's not going to affect the overall look. And you can see I am using Barely Art glue if you're wondering. And this is American Crafts cardstock. So I have a huge amount, so I decided to use that almost on every card. So you can see the difference here. So the only difference here, it's the same size, but I did it without, there's an alternate panel in there that you could make this without candles. And then you can add your own numbers, which we have some number candles in another folder. And then we'll talk about putting together the cards after this. Let me go over the other two cake types. So next we'll be doing the tall cake. So if you choose the standard card, you can go ahead and, however, you can either put the words on it, or you could print and cut the word tag, or you can also write on it depending on your machine. So that's your options. And then of course, to make it really quick, if you want some panels, you can use the optional panels that are in the folder for the standard card, or you can just use it like this. So if you're in a rush, like I just like to have birthday cards on hand, this would be one of the thoughts I thought about using this card for. So just to finish this card off, I wrote on this "Make a Wish" with one of the 5 sentiments included in the card, in the file. Then I'm just going to center it. I mean, if you wanted to make it more, you could go find balloons. I mean, you could add a lot to it. So that's that version. So if you're doing the box card version, each particular file has its own insert. It's the same box file, but the insert's different for each. So you can find them once you cut those out. Each one has a very specific way to put it together, but we'll talk about that. We're going to do the tiered card one, and then this one I did as well. So that one I already did, which is 50 with the optional number panels. I made it without the candles, and then I just added this for a 50th birthday. So that's a quick card. So we're going to show you how to put together the box cards. So let me go ahead and show you, before we do the box cards, we'll go with the next one. So this is the tall cake that we put together. Again, I'm making this a super simple card. On this one I put ready, set, blow. And now I have another simple card. I just like it because the star of the show are the colors and the layering. So I put glue on there. So to me, all the colors help shine it shine, you know, and you can give it to anybody. That's the nice part about these cards. And it's simple. So you have those two. Customize one. And I already showed you this one right there. Oh, and this is the larger optional panel. So you can see there's the smaller one and larger one. So let's go ahead and finish this. So we have this one. I chose to not put a background, and we can, I'm just going to straighten this out so this is straight. the way to put this on, this should be straight down or close to it, the plate being angled. And if you do write, you can write the words on it. You'll probably not want a panel, but with the panel you can easily add one of these. So this one, I don't know if you noticed, but I actually just took the word and I attached it in Cricut to write on this little tag, rounded tag that I made on the fly. So we're going to go ahead and put some little pop-up dots on this. I had some thin foam tape too. I just didn't have it near me for the video. I'm trying to get rid of these. I have a lot of these. But I do like popping up elements when I can, just to make a simple card a little bit fancier. So I'm just going to kind of center it, but I want it up just a little bit since... So you can put your own sentiment or anything on this. These are just meant to be quick. You just mix and match and make different cards. So now that we've seen different options for just the regular standard card, that. We're going to go ahead and show you the box cards. So this one's already made. So these do flatten to go into an A2 envelope, which is the same size when it's flattened. So if I pull one of these, you can see it's the same size. But these won't stand up without assistance. These are nice because they can pop them up and then stand up like that. They're very thin, but it works. So we're going to go ahead and put together some other ones. So there's a couple things that come with this card. These panels, which are optional. You'll see another card that doesn't have the panels. This back panel, so this is slightly smaller than that. And there's a full back panel that right here, size-wise, that goes with it too, if for some reason you want to put the full back. So for this one, I embossed the back. But the reason I did that is when you cut this card out and you have textured cardstock, only one side will be textured, which will be the back. So if you want that same textured look, you want to put something, you want to put a sheet like that, or you can do what I did, was just keep the same color but emboss it with embossing folders for those that don't know. So this one is slightly smaller. So I would probably, the one that's just completely in the back, I'd put it on last either way. So we'll do that so I can show you that either one that you choose, you want to put it on after you put it together, just in case, just to make sure it fits. But it should fit just fine. But if you choose to do this, you can do it first. So let's go back here. And before we put it together, let's go ahead and put the panels on. So again, the only difference between the three cards is each card has their own insert. So this, before I go on, I forget this is an exception to the other two. If you're using the tier card, what you want to do is cut out the insert of the same color as this bottom piece. So if you're going, I took that color and I cut it the same color as this piece right here. So it blends in, but gives dimension. You could still try to use the color of this card. It just looks a little bit different and gets hidden a little bit. For the other two cards, you don't have to do that. They can be the same card color as the actual card itself, this card part. So you just want to center each of these panels. So there's lots of options to either use the panels, don't use the panels, do a box card versus a flat card to get a different color. Just my intention was you just pull out this file, use it on your Cricut, your Silhouette, or other machine that you may have the die cutting, and just mix and match to make a quick birthday card. We all need them. So right there, you just kind of center them in their sections. Then this, we're just going to glue on there. So I did two different, oops, don't want to put, you don't want to put glue on the back of the candles. I did two different versions showing you these box cards, even though they're the same, just because of the color differential for this. So I'm just going to line that up. So I have a little glue on my hands, so I'm just going to wet this paper towel and get some glue off my fingertips so it doesn't transfer. So this is not a super exciting box card, but it's something to, if you're not into, if you don't want to do a lot of work with box cards, here's a simple way to do it. So we're going to go right here. We're going to put it upside down. So the way it's going to go is like this, if you haven't done box cards before. So I'm going to go like this. This is all down, so right now the front is down. And then we go ahead and add glue to the front of the left tab. They're folded back. And right here, do you see where it's folded right there? We want to make sure it's good and folded nicely. We're going to line it up a little bit to the right of that fold. So I'm going to pull it up so you can see it. But you can try to line it close to the bottom, or at least with the bottom. So it doesn't have to be right against it, just a little bit to the right of that score right there. And then I'm going to fold it over. I just don't want you to go over the score. And I'm just making sure it's lined up at the bottom right there. Then I'm going to add glue to this. See right there? Add glue to the top of this. Making sure you're only getting glue on the tab. So there's the score line right there. And we'll hold that down and fold that over. And then right here, we can just fold that in. So you can see I'm just holding it down right there. I'm just going to flatten that and make sure it's lined up on the side and on the bottom. Just like that. Whichever way you fold it is going to be the way you fold it into the card. So there it is. So I'm just going to stand it up like that. So if you felt it was easier to put it would be easier to put the panel in before you glue it, but I'm showing you this way. I think on the last card I already put the panel in so you can see before you put it together. So this one's a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to pull it up a little bit, center it. Then just flip over and I'm going to apply pressure. Because it's embossed, it takes a little bit to get it in place. But this would be a good masculine birthday card. And you can even make it with a personalized sporting background or something like that. This one I don't have words on, but you can easily put words on there. And the last one, let's go ahead and put this one together. So I had already put it's the same as the other one. You just glue it just on the back of this minus the candle. Then we're going to do the same thing. So I already glued this in, so if you have the one that's inset, this one I put a little bit lower than having it even at the top. So it really doesn't matter, it just depends on your your preference. So when I'm facing it, it's the right tab folded back. See, on the front, I have no panels on that one. I just wrote happy birthday. I did with a pen using my Cricut. So I like a little bit further back too. Oops, I don't want that. A little further to the right, only just for balance too. But it's just a little bit, as you can see from that. We just don't want it to go over it. And then when I fold it back over, I'm going to make sure it's straight. Then I'm going to add glue to this tab. Make sure you pre-fold the tab. I had already folded it. I just want to double check. This one I was using a perforated score line, so it folds easier. Make sure this is straight. And then I didn't pre-fold it. So you'll see that this is a much different looking cake. Just losing my my thoughts today for some reason. So when I put glue on that one, I'm going to line it up. So I kind of scooched it down so it lined up at the bottom. So this one, what I did was I used pattern paper for this, for the candle pieces, and then instead of white I used this coffee, and this is chocolate for instead of the red panel, and it was the, I believe, the yellow and green panels. So if you look at this, let me pull you out. You can see that's the yellow panel right there. So I just made that white so it looks like white filling, and then put the green one, which is solid all the way down without the blue and purple. So there's a lot of ways to customize this card. So here are the 3 box cards. So you can see very different look and feel, so you can really customize them for different looks. So here, just with this one file, I created all these different cards. So you can see 3 box cards looking much different, and these standard rainbow cards. You can personalize them with any number, since there's number candles included with within the file. And it's just a versatile, easy, so you can make a simple card if you just need to pull it out and get something done. And I hope you enjoyed this file. Of course, if you ever have any questions or need help, you can always contact me via the contact form at Simply Crafty SVGs. Thank you so much for watching.